Hello, you've caught me making a decision in a video game and trying to figure out which is going to be the good choice and which is going to be the bad one. You know that confused maths lady meme where she does the thinking face and all those equations float around her head? Yeah, that's me, running through all the possible permutations of my decision before more often than not coming to the same conclusion. Kill. Sometimes games are tricksy, however, and sort of deliberately nudge us down the bad path, only to reveal the true nature of the choice we've made later on, with a big gotcha moment. Or, as is the case with our first entry on this list of 7 times games tricked us into making bad decisions from Heavy Rain, spoilers by the way, check the descriptions for timestamps if you want to skip anything, they conjure an atmosphere of electric tension, an environment in which your every sense is heightened. You know, you're there waiting for a prompt, your thumb's ready to hit whatever button they're told to in an instant, and then...
I shot him.
Yep, looks like you did.
Ah, damn it. This is what I did when I first played Heavy Rain. I didn't actually want to shoot Nathaniel, believe it or not, but this scene does such a brilliant job of putting you on edge, of transporting you into the mind space of FBI agent Norman Jayden, that as soon as these options popped up, I instantly just saw R1, large and in charge, and pressed it. And I'm furious with myself here. Furious! Because I'm supposed to be this calm, rational investigator. At least I'm doing my very best to roleplay in this way. But Heavy Rain has caught me out. It knows we are conditioned almost as people who regularly play video games to react quickly during moments of tension. And so the game plays on these expectations, shoving a big floaty R1 right in our face, the one clear command in a circle of blurry uncertainty. Heavy Rain has essentially just shouted, R1, press R1 right now, at our impressionable shaky thumbs. And so, we've done it. And now we feel really betrayed. Thanks for that, Heavy Rain.
Yep, looks like you did.
Next up, Man of Medan, a cinematic co-op horror that does a naughty thing to you deep into the game. So, picture the scene. You're on this World War II era ghost ship. You're controlling Alex. You get split up from your friends, one of whom may also be controlled by a co-op partner, let's not forget. And bad stuff starts happening. I'm talking rats scurrying all over the place, the old ship creaking and shifting like it's alive. You know, Man of Medan is putting you in that state. The game has its foot on the adrenaline pump and is pushing it right into your veins. And then... weird two-headed zombie thing. Kill it, kill it, kill it, says your video game trained brain. It's a screaming undead monster. It needs re-deading pronto. Looking back on this now, there are more than a few clues about the true nature of this creature. First of all, it doesn't attack you. It sort of stands there looking all confused and shrieky. Then there's the look of fear in its face as you begin hacking at it with your knife. The thing backs away, hands up in submissive defence, shouting what I would guess is zombie for no, stop, you madman, it's me. Also, everything else in this scene is a little odd. A rat bursts through Alex's chest, for instance, which is strange because rats aren't generally that powerful, and also it doesn't seem to have any physical effect on you. So, really, if you were paying attention, you might come to the conclusion the ghost ship is making Alex hallucinate here, and that that's not a zombie at all, but poor Julia. The thing is, at this point in the game where tensions are high and you're panicking and just trying to survive, there's every chance you could miss this information and tragically murdering your friend and possible co-op partner. In a neat twist, Man of Medan doesn't allow co-op chat, so if a friend was controlling Julia at this point, you wouldn't even be able to hear them screaming at you to stop.
It's not her. It's not her.
It is her, Alex.
No, it's not.
Look what you've done.
No, it's not. It's not her.
We've got another Alex in our next entry, although this time he's on the wrong end of an accidental kill. In Black Ops 2, during the mission Suffer With Me, Noriega tells you that Raul Menendez, someone who we do want to kill, is being led out with a bag over his head. You're told to take the headshot, so you take the headshot.
End this now, Woods.
Turns out that wasn't Menendez at all, however.
What are you looking so smug about? What's going on here? No.
But in fact, Black Ops 1 protagonist Alex Mason.
Mason!
And now we're in one of those tough-to-watch first-person sequences where the game is sort of revelling in its victory. Yeah, says the actual Menendez, who's essentially Black Ops 2's mouthpiece at this point. We beat you. We tricked you. How do you like being shot in the leg and sneered at and headbutted? However, there is still a chance for you to have the last laugh here. If you don't shoot Mason in the head and instead opt for a non-lethal chest or limb shot, you get a special secret ending where David Mason is reunited with his long-lost dad after 30 years. It's a typically bro-y reunion, with Woods helpfully providing the angry swears so as to ensure things don't get too soppy.
I had a couple of f***ing broads. Work this shit out on your own. Need some smokes.
My dad's actually alive after 30 years of me thinking he was dead. Whatever, I don't care. I'm not going to cry.
But it's nice to see you can make a choice here after initially feeling like the game had pulled an irreversible fast one on you. Who's laughing now, Menendez? I mean, no one's laughing. Next up, spare a thought for poor Officer Owens right at the start of Batman Arkham Knight. All he wanted was to enjoy some time off at the local diner and to indulge in some cheeky waffles with a side of bacon without his wife knowing.
No, you know what? Make it waffles. With a side of bacon. Don't tell my wife.
Whatever you say, officer.
But life is never that simple for a police officer in Gotham City, and before his waffles are even in the waffle maker, some tattletale member of the public has come over to snitch on a guy smoking in the corner. Here's some genuine real-life capture of his dialogue. "Officer, there's a man smoking over there in the corner. Resigned, Officer Owens walks over to discover the culprit is Scarecrow, and he's smoking a homemade fear toxin roll-up, and now you've inhaled it, and suddenly the entire diner is now an apocalyptic hellscape. Terrified, Owens reaches for his gun, and now you're in control, Arkham City sort of egging you on, doing that thing we've already mentioned where it taps into that predisposition you have when faced with zombie-looking things in a first-person situation. You shoot, you kill, and later poor Officer Owens is locked up in the GCPD, his brain still fried, only now with the added trauma of knowing he's taken the lives of innocent people. I mean, you can choose not to shoot during this opening sequence, in which case you've spared Officer Owens the horrendous guilt, but you know, who had the mental fortitude to do that? Arkham City is infecting you, the player, with fear toxin as much as it is Officer Owens here. So if you manage to get through this murder-free, then bravo. Entry 5, the Twisted Firestarter quest in The Witcher 3. A pretty bog-standard early RPG side mission, you'll think. Dwarven blacksmith has his forge burned down and pays you to find the culprit. So off you go, doing Geralt's Witcher sense thing and killing drowners, you know, Tuesday, until eventually you find the arsonist, a guy called Knapp. He's a bit of a hopeless case, there's no real malicious intent here. He's just a guy that's a bit down on his luck. Knapp attempts to bribe Geralt, and here comes the choice. Do you take the bribe, or do you say no? I am role-playing as a good Witcher, and you will answer for your crimes. Probably you'll go with option 2, especially on your first playthrough, because you want to be nice, right? Sadly, this isn't a nice world. It's a brutal world, a war-ravaged world, a world of fear and anger and suffering. A world where arsonists get hanged.
No trial needed here. Just a tree.
Oh, I mean, what about just a bit of jail time? Or, you know, maybe he has to work for the blacksmith for a bit to pay back his debt? You know, a reasonable punishment. I didn't want... Yeah, welcome to The Witcher 3, naive player of other RPGs. Entry 6. Meet Millabelle, the banker from Hollow Knight, a lovely merchant who kindly agrees to look after your geo for you so it doesn't all disappear when you die. What a good idea, you'll think to yourself, again taking for granted the fact that merchants in video games always follow 2 golden rules. Number 1, they're on your side, essentially acting as vaults or shops with added personalities. And number 2, they always stay where they are, unless they're like those magical ones who pop up at different stages of your adventure, like Owaka in Final Fantasy X or the Merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Welcome.
Sorry, had to get that in there. And so you go about your adventure in Hollow Knight, worrying about all the things you have to worry about, like dying and dying and dying, safe in the knowledge that Millabelle will be there at Fog Canyon looking after all your dosh like the kind video game merchant she is. Until all of a sudden, she's not. Has the game broken? The game must have broken. The sign for the bank is still there. Look. Oh, no, Hollow Knight, you did not do this to me. But it has. Hollow Knight, being the brilliantly unique and clever game that it is, has done what pretty much all the entries on this list have done and used your own knowledge of video games against you. Millabelle is not a merchant, she's a thief. And she's run off with all your geo, which she stored in her shell for an easy getaway. I mean, at this point, I'm both annoyed and impressed. On the one hand, how dare you, Hollow Knight? And on the other, wow, well played. This really is a fantastic game, isn't it? Final entry, Bloodborne. Who would have thought this would be the type of game to play tricks on its players? So yeah, shortly after you defeat Father Gascoigne, you'll gain access to Odin's Chapel, a safe haven from the Lovecraftian horrors that inhabit Yharnam, and a place where you can send NPCs. You know, it's a refuge. And then you meet the suspicious beggar. I mean, his name alone should probably ring alarm bells, plus there's the fact when you first encounter him, he's chowing down on some corpses, but this is Yharnam after all, let's not be too quick to judge. You have the choice to send the suspicious beggar to Odin's Chapel, much like with other NPCs, or you could also send him to Iosefka's clinic, but that's not as much fun. Make the fateful decision to send him to the chapel, and he starts murdering the other NPCs you've sent there, very slowly, one by one. We know he's doing it, he knows you know he's doing it, but he does kind of give you beast blood pellets after each murder, so, you know, maybe we'll just look the other way. If you're one of those totally innocent players who's all like, yeah, let's save everyone, however, I imagine returning to the chapel and finding all the people you've rescued now permanently unrescued must be pretty disheartening, however. And when you think about it, this is quite a nasty trick. Odin's Chapel feels kind of like a save room in Resi. You know, the rest of the game is full of terrifying twisted monstrosities, yes, but come on, this place is supposed to be okay. Not if you send the suspicious beggar there, it isn't. So there you have it, 7 times games tricked us into making bad decisions. Can you think of any other examples? Let us know in the comments, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to click that notification bell so you always know when a new Friday feature goes live. Thanks for watching, and see you again next week.
PlayStation